One of the ways that people flare their low backs up is by adding rotation that's unprotected from their spine. The L4, L5, L5, S1, that sciatica, that low back pain from twisting, we want to avoid that, especially while the back is vulnerable. So I want to show the 3 most common areas that people may not realize that rotation is happening, so they can start to identify it, remove it, and start building more healthy movement patterns. First, anytime we're seated at a desk or driving in a car or sitting down and maybe wanting something off of the floor, maybe that's tying a shoe, maybe there's something that dropped on the floor of the car while I'm driving, we end up bending forward, twisting our bodies, and reaching down to grab whatever it is. That is a very easy way to flare up the low back. That's not heavy, it's not a lot of load, but it only takes a little moment of instability in the low back for the body and brain to decide that's not safe, we can't control that, and then it sends that pain spasm cycle into its loop, and everything freezes up to try to protect it from happening again. And even though that moment now is over, it only takes that small moment. So we want to identify where else could this be happening. Similarly, in the car, sitting at the dining room table, sitting down anywhere, and there's something behind me that I want to grab, okay? That my purse is in the back seat, my backpack is in the back seat, and I'm still driving, or maybe I'm even parked, but my hand is here, and I'm twisting, grabbing, and then lifting to pull it back into the front seat. That, if it doesn't end up as a slap lesion in the shoulder, it oftentimes will lead to facet issues, sciatica issues, that rotation and that high pressure load in the low back. So avoid reaching behind you. If it's in the back seat and you have the ability, pull over, stand up, walk into the back seat and grab it, then pull it up to where you need it. This will save you 3 days of pain, even though it may be inconvenient in the short term. If it's on the floor and you want to grab it, you would slide the chair back, step, create a lunge position, because now I'm using my hips instead of my low back. Then even here, I'm not just bending to pick it up, breathing in a way that stabilizes, hinging from my hips and picking it up. Another way that's a little more funny, but true, is that wiping on the toilet. This is one of those things that no one ever talks about, but I know is causing issues because I hear about it in practice all the time. Number one, where is the toilet paper roll? Is it out in front of us where it's super easy to grab? Or is it in one of those tiny San Francisco bathrooms that is way over here? So every time I have to reach, I have to turn my body to try to grab a square, or I'm reaching into some random place, or it's on the ground off to the side. And then also wiping. We don't talk about this. I've had a few conversations with people and found out that not everyone wipes like me. Some people reach behind and lift their whole spine and butt off the chair, off the toilet. And if you look at what's happening to my spine, I'm hinging from the side, I'm rotating, and if I do that my entire life, it might be fine for a while, but I'm also probably creating a pattern that is vulnerable. So if I am in pain, if I'm having spasms in the low back, and this is how I typically wipe, that's not going to be the way that I need to go. Recently they've had the squatty potty where the feet get lifted up off the ground, and it gives you more access right through the middle to be wiping. As awkward as it is for a lot of people to talk about, this is the safest way to get it done, because then you're not twisting and turning. And I really want those people that are dealing with low back stuff to not have these unnecessary flare-ups. So be aware of the subtle ways in your day that you might be rotating from the spine and not realizing it, and take the short-term inconvenient choice to lift, move your whole body, and turn from your hips, bend from your hips, lift from your hips, and save the low back. Connect that with your breath. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm rooting for you. Let's get stronger. Peace.